Well, hello and welcome to another Thursday Live. I am Dr. Jerry Dreessen, the Executive Director here at the Association of PEMF Professionals. And if you are currently looking around at what's happening in the world of PEMF, you know that here in the United States, there is lots of stuff happening in compliance or regulatory, how PEMF is being lumped in with other types of um, regimes like red light and electrical stim and things like that. And our goal is to get things written so that practitioners that are certified can use this. Some of them are asking, the veterinarians to use them on animals versus certified practitioners, and that's kind of where the education is, where people that are writing these laws and rules for them to get educated on that. So, with that, kind of takes us to what our live is about this week. And our goal is to kind of help you out with some safe business and marketing strategies. So, for PEMF practitioners during regulatory uncertainty, until we until all of these people put into their, sort things out as far as what needs to be done. We are in the process of helping you put things together. So hopefully today's live will take you through some important things. If you aren't already doing it, gives you an idea on what to do. So last week, of course, we talked about regulatory uncertainty and complaint-driven enforcement. There was a person that saw something on a person's Facebook post or Instagram, and that led to a report based on what the person put on their information, even though it was really it was crazy. It was like it was unnecessary, unneeded, yet this person felt they needed to um, uh, I don't know, make this PEMF person's life miserable. So, um, what we can do right now. And so, of course, you can't fix every gray area, but you can also reduce your exposure. So, today we're talking about clear, defensible, professional practice on what's going on. So, oftentimes, language is the biggest risk. Most problems come from how services are described. So, just avoid the language that implies a diagnosis or a treatment, and then also guaranteed outcomes. And the question to ask yourself is, how does my business describe what I do? Now, if you are a doctor, then this is kind of a moot point because that's what we do. We do a diagnosis, we do treatment. Um, Not necessarily guarantee outcomes. I don't know any health profession that guarantees outcomes. It's often, let's try this and see, or let's go X amount of time. We'll reevaluate, see how you're doing. If you're continuing to improve, then we'll continue that care program. So those are the things that we do in the healthcare side of it. But not having a degree as a healthcare professional, those are the things that you need to avoid, and even the language. So if you are overheard talking about something and this person overhears it and their goal is to make your life miserable, they will. So it's the language you use, but also I'll be talking about it too. It's the language your team uses too. So what is it that you do? Describe that. Write it down, and then you start with the role clarity. So clearly define your role in simple, consistent terms, and stay within supportive, non-diagnostic boundaries. So again, the clarity is sounding more clinical or advanced. Um, you, Again, make sure that you are, I don't know, it's very strange right now. So you have to go more broad based. It's like the device I'm using says that it helps improve blood flow, right? So it's not you saying, hey, I noticed that on this animal or this person there's lack of blood flow, so I'm going to apply this device which will guarantee increased blood flow, right? That's what you don't say, because everybody's different anyways. I would never say it as a practitioner. We know that it helps improve blood flow. If it helps your body improve blood flow, then this is the right thing to use. But yeah, definitely stay away from guarantees. So again, marketing side of it, as far as your website, your social media, anything that you've got printed, wherever you are, your banners that are up there, those of you that have them, you're 100% okay if they are presented in how we're talking about today. So again, avoid condition claims. You can talk about I'm trying to think of in the animal realm, animals that have these things, versus we treat and cure animals with these things. So, again, looking at your condition claims, looking at your cure and treatment language. Again, focus on what you offer, how sessions work, and then disclaimers don't fix risky messaging. So, make sure your message is on point and inside the lane, as we've been talking about in these last few lives. And again, same thing with social media, same risk as formal marketing. So as long as you are presenting yourself as we're talking about versus somebody that decides to take it upon themselves to jump out of the lane and diagnose and treat, and using that terminology, then you'll be fine. Again, testimonials can be a hidden risk. So don't promote reviews that claim treated, cured, fixed. And, when you are recording somebody, obviously don't go live because something might slip out, but you can always go back to a live and yank it. But when you're recording things and people are talking about it, give them the words to use too. PEMF cured my dog, right? I mean, yeah. But how do you know, right? So what was the before, the after? What were the tests? What were the objective medical? So those are some things that, again, we just have to be careful of in what we're doing. And Barbara, shouting out from, is it Chikora? Did I say that right? Welcome. Thank you for watching today. But again, your safer focuses on experience, professionalism, and communication. And I'm talking to those of you. I mean, I'm thinking like 99.9% of us already know these things, but also we want to make sure that we're exposing this information. And some of you may know somebody that is just starting out and they may have improper language. So just tap them on the shoulder and, help them out too. So again, the big things, your intake, the consent, documentation, the intake and consent, that's your first layer of protection, as far as what's going on, but then also be clear about what the service is and what it is not. Documentation should be factual, should be within your scope or your lane, and then good records matter more than memory. If it's written down and signed off, that is the gold standard versus like recalling. Well, I recall what happened was blank versus here are the notes of what happened. So it's really important to, even just having a sheet of paper or just keeping a notepad inside your travel kit so you can jot stuff down, the day, the date, the animal, what was done, those types of things. I doubt we're going to ever have that happen. But again, if you already come to the game with everything sealed in, and the more professional you are and look, and you've got all this information, the less hassle we're going to be getting from anybody, because they say, well, PEMF people that are certified, they're already doing the best practices. They're already saying these things, which is what we want them to say, and they're avoiding this language, which is what they want. So, if we can already come to the table already dressed for the right, reasons, then, all the better. And then as far as referral, so safety strategy, know when something is outside your role. So you make the call on that. If it's your animal, then, you're fine. But if it's someone else's, and it's outside of what you're working with, it's like, we need to get a vet's eyes on this, to have them look at it too, and just make sure that what we're doing is what's the word, that there isn't anything else going on that we're missing. So again, have a cleared, prepared referral process. So if you're working on an animal and something isn't right, if you are in an area that you work all the time, you probably have your list of people, the clients that you're working with, they probably have their go-tos. But if not, same thing in my world, in chiropractic world, it's like there's an ankle problem. It's like, do you have somebody? Do you have an ankle doc that you see, or a knee doc? And if the answer is no, then it's like, well, here's who I would recommend that you go see, and talk with them about it. So, make sure you've got something like that laid out too, versus like, I don't know, I've never had to refer out before. If you have a good solid protocol going on and it's documented, then again, that's another layer of protection for you. And the as far as marketing goes, you can still market effectively. There's a difference between safe marketing and weak marketing. And then if you focus on professionalism, consistency, client experience, and then clear expectations, you'll build the long-term trust. And again, it's the wordsmithing, people. And again, there isn't this group of people that are pouring over media and social media trying to nitpick and find problems. It's in the cases that we're finding, it just happens to be that weird random thing where somebody goes, hey, I saw this, is that what you do? And the person goes, I don't know, I think so. That's when problems can arise. So just kind of do a quick look at all of your things that are posted for people to view, like I said, online, your website, social media, those kinds of things. And then review what to do now. And the things to do now is, like we talked about, your website, your service descriptions, social media content, and then testimonials. Kind of what we're talking about as far as making sure that they're cleaned up. And again, if something's missing or something's misstated, it's better to pull that testimonial and even reach out to those people, and have them redo that, the better. All the way over from my side of the United States, Kathy Douglas. She's just a few hours north of me. Hi, Kathy. And again, these things are all great to have. We just have to, at the moment in time, make sure that we're conformed so that we don't go outside of the box, so that we don't bring into question what we do. Whereas, if 1% happens, then obviously it's going to be somewhere else. We just want to stop, nip it in the bud. And again, like I said, 99.9% of us are doing the right thing. The other 0.1%, they just don't know yet. So again, that's what we're all about here at AOPP. So some things to do now as far as to improve your intake and consent form, your documentation, and your referral processes. So if you've got all of that. If you got your, new client, new animal kit that you put together, and you can, whip that out anytime somebody, calls you on the carpet, like, well, this is what I do. So, I don't know what you heard, but this is what we've got going on. So those are some important things too. And then Angie, hi Angie, welcome to the show. And then another thing too is improving your intake and consent, making sure that those are done properly, that you have these things documented, and then also your referral process, where you send animals if they're having certain problems that, or that you can refer the owner to. And then also just confirm, if you're insured, your business basics, that you're covered with what you do, on-site insurance, and then make sure that your messaging also matches your actual role. And again, why this matters. So this affects more than your business. It shapes how the entire profession is perceived. Clear, responsible practices support stronger advocacy. We, as the AOPP, these are the things that we've been striving for. It would be great if anybody that is on the hunt for, cracks in the wall, that if they see that somebody is a certified AOPP, it's like, oh, we don't have to worry about them. They've gone through the process. They've got all of their stuff in order. That's one of the requirements AOPP has. And so that's where we want to be on this. So if anybody has any problems, we can come in as AOPP and say, well, as long as you have in your bylaws or whatever it is, your commandments, that anybody that does PEMF, that they become certified through the company that makes their PEMF product, or that they use a national organization or international organization like AOPP for certification. And anybody that does that, we're okay with. So that's where we want to be heading with AOPP. And again, you can't control uncertainty, but you can control clarity. So safer systems make your business more credible, more defensible, more sustainable. And then the safest practice isn't the quietest, it's the clearest. So you don't have to worry about, pulling back and being afraid to do stuff. No, don't be afraid to do stuff. Go do stuff. Advertise, market yourself, build your business. Here are the guidelines to stay inside of, and words to avoid, and ways to, put your business together so that it is clear. And again, it's nobody can point and say, well, you said this here, and we want to know what you meant by that. You said that this dog's tumor disappeared and that they are cured. Those are things that I doubt we would ever hear anybody say. It would be up to the vet anyways that was monitoring that to make that statement, versus us as practitioners. So again, we've been talking about safe business and marketing strategies for PEMF practitioners during regulatory uncertainty. And there are less than a handful of states right now that are going through this, and we've got our finger on it. And again, thank you to those of you that are alerting us of these things happening in your state too. There's 50 of these states. So it's tough for us to be monitoring on a weekly basis what's going on. So if you have a chance to kind of put your ear to the ground and let us know, that helps us out too. So again, I want to thank you for your time. I know it was a little rough last week, trying to hear me with my voice being a little scratchy, but again, thank you. Appreciate that. And again, your feedback really helps us out. If you get any tips or if you have any questions, reach out to us, info@pemfprofessionals.com. Become a member, become certified. Use the AOPP logo on all of the things that you have as a certified AOPP person. And again, we're hoping that this badge on your website, on any printed material you have, becomes a protective shield to let any regulatory board know that you've gone through the process and that they don't have to worry about what you got going on. And then know, like, and share. Let people know, your clients and stuff. They may even know somebody that's on a regulatory board. Oftentimes, if we can get a veterinarian and somebody that's on the board together, and they're pro PEMF and pro AOPP, the majority of the vets that we've talked to are, saying we're too busy to be told that we're the only ones that do this. We have no problem with people that are certified, using PEMF as a business, or just, doing it on their own animals. So they love that it's out there and that it's helping. So, I mean, they're pro you. We just need to, get everything locked up. Some of them are, again, they don't want to jump into a regulatory board and give their approval with their name. They don't want to stick their neck out. They'd rather, I can see that too as a practitioner, not getting involved in politics. That takes a certain talent, I think. So again, thanks again for your time. We hope to give you some updates on what's going on, and reaching out to some of these regulatory boards and meeting with them, talking about what's going on. And again, what we've been doing is working somewhere along the political scope. Somebody jumped in and had the last minute, or I guess the last week of, pulled the information that we had help with putting together. And so we're investigating that. I'm not sure why somebody would do that, other than it was just a pure political move. So we're just happy people helping humans and animals, right? So on that note, I look forward to seeing you next week, and hopefully we will have even more awesome stuff. And follow these guidelines, go through your things that you've got posted right now. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. So with that, take care, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye.